I wanted to start this out by reading an article, and it's from the 1972 Watchtower, April 1st, on page 197, and the title of the article is, "They Shall Know That a Prophet Was Among Them." And I'm going to be reading just some select portions of this, and if you want the entire article, just shoot me an email or a YouTube message, and I'd be happy to send you the article in its entirety. Okay, so let's start. People today can view the creative works. They have at hand the Bible, but it is little read or understood. So, does Jehovah have a prophet to help them, to warn them of dangers, and to declare things to come? These questions can be answered in the affirmative. Who is this prophet? And the article goes on to explain who this prophet is. This prophet was not one man, but was a body of men and women. It was the small group of footstep followers of Jesus Christ, known at that time as International Bible Students. Today they are known as Jehovah's Christian Witnesses. Of course, it is easy to say that this group acts as a prophet of God. It is another thing to prove it. And the only way that this can be done is to review the record. What does it show? And I know a lot of you are probably familiar with this article and a lot of the arguments that are used. And so I wanted to approach this in a different way, in what I hope to be the most open-minded way possible. Because I think there's a lot of hostility out there when things are brought up as far as, false dates, false prophecies, things like that. So I kind of wanted to just start over and maybe ask some questions. And I guess my first question is, how can we review the record? And let me explain what I mean by that. Now, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you have to understand that someone like myself, or anyone else who is not a Jehovah's Witness, who's investigating, we're doing this from an outside perspective. We need to be convinced that the Watchtower is who they claim to be. And I guess I'm just wondering, what's the most objective way to do this? If, let's just say, I've encountered Jehovah's Witnesses in the Watchtower for the first time ever, and I'm a researcher, and I really want to do an objective study on this organization and their beliefs. And let's say I came across this article which tells me, quote, "It's easy to say that a group acts as a prophet of God. It's another thing to prove it. The only way that this can be done is to review the record. What does it show?" Now, maybe you could put yourself in my shoes or the shoes of that researcher. And let's say you were hearing this claim from, let's say, a Mormon. A Mormon is telling you, please review our record. What does it show? It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to prove it. So if you are researching Mormonism and they asked you to review the record and telling you to prove it, or them to prove it by reviewing it, what would you do? It seems like if you're an objective and an honest researcher, you would actually review their record, look at all the statements that the official church teachings have made, and see if it's consistent with their claims. That seems like an honest thing to do. And so I was wondering if maybe you could just take that and put yourself in our shoes if you're a Jehovah's Witness. What are we supposed to do when we come across claims like this? And, I realize this is a very personal issue. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses get offended when, things like this are brought up. So I don't want to jump to conclusions in this video. I really want to just ask a simple question, and maybe you explain to us how we can be objective when we approach statements like this. how would you recommend as a Jehovah's Witness that we, as outside people looking in to investigate, how can we honestly and objectively review the record? And I guess that's my question for you if you're a Jehovah's Witness.